Can't think of a word. I really can't. That's hard. One word. Oh my gosh, that's almost impossible to.
Love.
Great man. That's about all I can think of. Great.
John Wooden's legacy in one word would be the word humble. He was a man who had great accomplishments, but loved God and understood who he was, and he was a humble man.
Oh, I don't know, father. Yeah, I mean, he was just a guy you knew. I mean, I don't know if you listened to any of that, but he was just a father figure to everybody.
Genuine, maybe that's the word that came to my mind. I feel he was a father figure to me. I mean, you see all this gray hair, but, you know, I thought to myself, I want to grow up to be like John Wooden someday.
I would say integrity. Great integrity.
Giving.
Just humble, and yet great. So I had to throw in a couple other words. You can't describe him in one word.
But it wasn't until I was in grad school, when I was also a full-time LA County probation officer working with juveniles, that I had my first personal contact with Coach Wooden. And I told them, I'm a probation officer, I'm working at Camp Scott out in Saugus. I've started a basketball team to play other camps, which they did not have in the probation department at that time. And I'd like to bring my team. And they checked with him, and I called back, and they said, Coach said it's fine, you can bring your probation camp team. The amazing thing, which led me to get to meet Coach Wooden, is I had hoped that he would come over and say hello to the students. These were teenagers who'd been arrested 15 or 16 times. They were kids who still had their whole lives ahead of them. And the thing that, when I became a real admirer of John Wooden, the person, not the coach, each time he brought Sidney Wicks and Curtis Rowe, who were his two All-Americans, over, and he spent 20 minutes with the kids each time. And he knew where they were from. I always tell people, if they had been from Beverly Hills, he could not have treated them better. He talked to them. He did essentially interviews with Sidney and Curtis. He'd say, well, now Sidney, what could you tell these young people about this or about that? And then he would talk to the students and try and find out a little bit about their lives. And then he would encourage them to, that their past didn't matter and their future was in their hands, etc. Do the kinds of things he did with his own players. And this was the end of his day. This was, after 5 o'clock. He was tired. He had family waiting for him, but he took 20 minutes each time. And that, to me, was extraordinary.
Well, we have our name attached to the place. It's really the place that Coach built. And we never forget that, as a family. But this is the place that Coach built.